Welcome to the Buddy and Shane Show.
Hello and welcome to the Buddy and Shane Show. We're doing it a bit different this week. I'm in Melbourne. I'm no longer allowed in the same studio as Buddy Franklin. Buddy Franklin is on the beautiful Gold Coast. Bud, the finals start this week. This is what it's all about. We're ready to roll. How are you on the Gold Coast?
Mate, I'm really well. Things are obviously run a little bit smoother when you travel away, so I think this could be an ongoing thing where you maybe stay in Melbourne and do the show from there, mate, and I stay in beautiful Gold Coast. But no, it's good. I'm really well, Shane. Had a nice weekend with the family. Was a little bit bored. There was no footy on, so I'm really excited for this week. There's some huge games and looking forward to having a chat about it.
It's going to be hard in a month's time when there's no footy on the weekend, on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday or Sunday. We're going to have to do different things. I think
we've got the horses to watch, so we'll be right.
That's right. We can go and attack the horses. Hey, during the week, I don't know if you saw anything, but we participated in the Legends match, which was awesome. They raised over $1 million for prostate cancer. It was good, but I must make an apology. Dave Hughes, I was coaching against Victoria. I circled his name. I said, we need to make sure he has a bad night, but I wasn't expecting everyone to listen. And you wouldn't believe it, 5 broken ribs, a punctured lung. He was still able to kick a goal even whilst having those injuries. So a shout out to Dave Hughes.
God, he must have been in some pain. God. So what, are they having a doctor there injecting his ribs so he could stay out there, did they?
Oh, no, they had doctors there, of course. You know, there was always going to be a lot of injuries, but not many players can kick goals after breaking ribs, having a punctured lung. So a shout out to Hughesy, well done. And not sure he'll come back next year. But I must admit, hey, I've had my name circled many a time, and probably you too, but back in the day, and they used to just charge at me, trying to knock my head off. Although, you know, I think Hughesy was a little fumbly at times, and he cost himself. So if he had been cleaner with his hands, he wouldn't have got himself in a few situations like that. But anyway, it was great. Everyone participated. Good fun. Silrioli, don't know if you saw, kicked a 70-metre goal, torpedo, which was nice to see. Still got a long kick on him, but doing that right on the halftime siren. That was good. But let's talk about the All-Australian team. I'm sure you've been over it. I'm sure you got some strong opinions. Jeremy Cameron named as captain, which is a bit left field. But then again, Tom Hawkins was captain. You've been captain and you haven't been captain of your footy club, although, you know, all those players have been strong leaders at their football club. What do you think about that, and what did you think of the All-Australian team?
I don't absolutely love that. I think, you know, I got that in 2007 and 2008 and whenever it was. But, you know, I think if there is a captain that is one of the AFL captains that's there, they probably deserve it. But I can sort of understand where the selectors were coming from, giving it to him a little bit. But I thought if Max Gawn was able to get that 8th All-Australian, which is an incredible effort, he is captain of Melbourne Footy Club. I thought that was the way they would have went, and probably should have really. But congratulations to all of them. I think Jeremy says sensational year, kicking 80-plus goals. So well done to him. But I did find it very strange that Dacos and Bontempelli are on the interchange for me. That two of the best players in the game. Like if that team was running out to compete against someone, you're not putting your 2 best players on the bench ever. So I thought that was a little bit strange for me. I know the other midfielders had great years, but they're the 2 best players in the game. You're not putting them on the interchange. And I thought Jamie Elliott for me was a big one, not making the team. He had a sensational year, kicking over 50 goals. So they were
60. He got 60 goals.
Yeah, so he had a massive year, and then obviously not to get selected was really disappointing for him. But, you know, it's a tough job. Like the 40 that get listed to be in the All-Australian team, like everyone's it's a tough gig because they're all great players, and you've got to find spots for them. But I did think the Dacos Bontempelli one on the interchange was really strange for me.
Yeah, very interesting interchange. But, as you know, there's always controversy every year. This player shouldn't be in, this player should be in. Even Josh Battle. Josh Battle's had a wonderful year at the Hawks. He shut down some of the very best forwards. just because he's not getting the numbers that you need. His number one job is to stop forwards from kicking goals. I think he's had a very good year. So congratulations to all. Well done. It's locked away now, so you're a part of history. Okay, it's all about finals. Let's rip in. This is what playing AFL footy is all about. Well done to all the teams that have made finals. It's not easy, especially with the competition being so even these days. But we start. Oh, how good's this? Adelaide Oval, qualifying final. Adelaide taking on Collingwood. This is huge. They played a few weeks ago. Obviously, Rankin had his issues, is now out for 4 weeks. So he's missing from the game. The winner obviously wins and gets a home prelim final. And Collingwood dominated last game with 70 inside 50s. Are they going to dominate this game? What's going to happen?
Well, they should have won last time, but they didn't. They obviously had the more inside 50s. Dominated the game. I think it was a little bit wet that night, so they'll be hoping for a dry weather night. But yeah, it's going to be a huge game. They're two great clubs. Adelaide have had a terrific season. They're on top of the ladder, and they finished on top of the ladder for a reason because they've had a strong season. Collingwood, history says they travel really well, so that's a plus for them. They'll be very confident they can go to Adelaide Oval and get it done. I think. The leaders for Collingwood are going to play a big part in this. I think Pendlebury, Sidebottom, they've been there, they've done that, they know how to travel, they know how to get their players up. So I think those two will be real keys in this match. The Dacos boys will be real keys too. Does Berry play on Nick, which will be an interesting one? I think if you're Adelaide,
I say yes, especially early.
You're definitely doing that, aren't you, Shane? I think you just can't let him get off the chain because if he has 35 plus, they win the game, or 30 plus, they win the game usually. So this is going to be awesome, this game. This is what it's about, isn't it? It's going to be a cracking game. Who do you reckon, Shane?
When I look at Adelaide, I think Adelaide, for me, their midfield is still a bit light on. So especially with Rankin not being able to spend just a little bit of time in there as a hit. So that for me is a deficiency. But then Collingwood's midfield hasn't really been firing, and I reckon Matthew Nicks will really identify someone like Scotty Pendlebury, who we know is incredible, but around stoppages and exploding out of the stoppages, it can be a bit of a weakness for them too, because his opponent is able to find a bit of space and able to get ahead of the play. So I reckon they'll clearly identify that. Adelaide cannot win this game if they don't switch the play and find a different lane. If they don't switch the play, they kicked goals against them last time, even though it was wet, tricky conditions. Every time they switched play, they were able to score.
Yep.
And when they went down the line, you're totally playing into Collingwood's hands. And we've seen Collingwood over the last couple of months, games against Brisbane, Hawthorn. When teams have been brave enough to come through the middle, you use all of your forward line as you're attacking, and it just makes teams very, very puts them in the driver's seat to kick goals and to score more against Collingwood. They haven't been scoring a lot either, Collingwood, so I reckon they've really got to work over the last week or so to try and work out how they can hit the scoreboard a bit more. This is a fascinating game because I know Collingwood are probably, along with Geelong, are the only teams that have really backed off and had a hard training phase heading into the finals. So I think you've got to factor that in. Yes, they do travel well. Adelaide haven't been super convincing over the last month, but you don't really need to. It's a clean slate. So this is a really line ball for me. I'm going to probably lean towards Adelaide to get the job done, but I am a little worried for them because Collingwood will be going there super confident that they can get the job done.
Yeah, last week I thought Collingwood, and the more I've thought about this game, I think Adelaide will win. I think they're big boys. Like, how you were talking about going through the corridor and that? It's hard to do because when these teams are the best teams, so they shut the corridor off. And I think having those bigger boys for Adelaide, there'll be a lot of down line kicks. You've got those big boys there to be able to mark the ball, bring it to ground, then you offload it to your smalls that are running towards a forward 50. But I think that reason, they've got a few bigger boys up forward. I think they can do a little bit of damage against Collingwood. I think, Darcy hasn't had the best year this year, so a lot of responsibility goes towards him, the captain of the club, to get it done. But I think Adelaide's tools up forward will really do some damage this week, and it'll make it very hard for Collingwood.
So you're tipping Adelaide. I'm leaning towards Adelaide, but my confidence is not exactly high. But I'm really looking forward to this match because there's going to be a bit of spite off the back of the Rankin scenario. Collingwood, we know travel really well. Adelaide, this is a special time for them, coming from 15th last year.
Texas, 300th to Croft, which adds another thing to it. Not
Tex
that you
Walker,
always win.
Congratulations,
not like we always win
Tex.
on our milestones. We know that every time someone has a milestone, they lose. But I think that'll be another key factor. But no, it's going to be massive. It's going to be massive, this game, and I can't wait to watch this one.
Talking about Tex Walker, this is his 17th season. He was picked 75 in the 209 draft. He's kicked 678 goals. So all the very best to Tex Walker.
Yep.
He does some freaky stuff. The way that he can get the ball and manoeuvre his way around for such a big fella. Good luck. So we're tipping Adelaide. Confidence level not extremely high. We're going to go to the second qualifying final. Geelong taking on Brisbane. This is going to be beauty. Friday night MCG. This is a replay of last year's prelim final, and it was one of the best games of the year. Geelong have had a soft 6 weeks, so people are thinking, is that going to make them a little vulnerable? And Brisbane have had a brutal fixture all season, yet they've had a wonderful season. Another amazing game, another flip of the coin.
This is a massive game too. Oh, yeah, like Brisbane have had a sensational year again. So have Geelong, but this is going to be. It's hard to tip one here, isn't it? They've both had sensational years. I think it being at the MCG probably favours Geelong a little bit, but Brisbane went on to win a premiership there last year, so they know how to play the game really well. Both strong midfields, set up well behind the ball defensively. I think the only thing with Brisbane, which will be a little bit of a worry, is just the big key forward. Yeah, they've got Logan Morris down there, but I do think he needs a little bit of help. I think Eric's not playing, obviously, with the calf. So that's just the question mark on me just at the moment. Are the Smalls going to step up for Brisbane and kick goals? Yes, they can do it, but against Geelong, I think it's going to be very difficult because Geelong have got a great defence.
And they double tag at times, or they have run widths. You got Manor and you got Atkins who can really go the clamp a bit, and then they allow Bailey and Holmes just to get on the bike and move around. But I keep coming back to when Brisbane want to be at their very best, their midfield just gets to work, and they do have gears, and we've been saying it all year. And I've got a feeling the MCG's great for them, especially with the courage that they have with their ball movement. And I've just got a feeling there. When you look at Dunkley, you got Ashcroft, Will Ashcroft, who he's got gears. You bring Lachie Neale back in. You got McCluggage, who's had an unbelievable year. And then you've got some backup in Zach Bailey, who's played a bit more time over the last few weeks through the middle. Fletcher can float through there. I just think, and then I'm missing the forward who's been smashing it in quarters. Can't even think of his name. What's his name? Anyway, can't believe I can't think of his name.
Gary Ablett Senior or something, is it?
No, Roger Merritt. No.
But Croft, I was going to say,
what's his name? It starts with R. Can't believe I forgot his name.
With both these teams, though, it just shows you maturity of both clubs. The games I watched against Brisbane, they get jumped by a couple goals, 3 or 4 goals. They're down, but they don't panic, both of them. Geelong do the same against Sydney. They jumped them by 4 goals. A lot of clubs there feel the pinch and go, oh, God, go into their shells. Don't take kicks through the corridor. Panic a little bit. Both these clubs, they've been that and done that, so they know exactly what to do when they're under pressure. So this is going to be a quality matchup. I think I just think Geelong will just have too many weapons. I think they just have too many weapons throughout the ground that will really challenge Brisbane. But every time I've said this, Brisbane come out and prove me wrong. So it wouldn't surprise me if Brisbane win too. Cracking game.
I'm thinking Brisbane. For the reason that I think they had a perfect preparation against Hawthorn last week. It was a real finals-like game. I thought Hawthorn played really well, but Brisbane were just a different class, had a bit more scoreboard pressure as well. I think that was a perfect tune-up for them to go bang. Geelong, maybe the soft 6 weeks, this might be the game that they need to really click them into gear. And it wouldn't surprise me if they still won the whole thing but actually lost this match. So I'm thinking Brisbane can just be really clean around stoppages like they have been when they've wanted to be. And I'm probably the most confident out of all the games that Brisbane can get the job done.
Wow.
But in saying that, I still think Geelong could possibly win the whole thing. So anyway, crazy. Let's move on to elimination finals. You don't want to play in those. Hawthorn against the Giants, Saturday night up in Sydney. Hawthorn zipping 8 at the ground.
That's not,
which is not a great.
It's not
great
what you
stat.
want to be saying, is it? As a player, like, oh God, we're going to go there again. But this is going to be huge.
Hogan, Kelly, Buckley, Daniels, and Stringer, they're all a good chance to come back in. Josh Weddle, a chance to come back in for the Hawks. And then you got to remember the Giants. Your Giants are hurting from last year because they should have been in the grand final and probably won a grand final, really. So there's a bit of hurt there, and that's going to take them a long way.
Are you making 5 changes to a team that won? That's a lot coming into a final. I know, like.
Yeah, they weren't convincing against St Kilda.
Yeah,
they almost lost that match, and it was your man Toby Green who's going to play on him, and it's your man Toby Green who you said will be player of the final series if they continue through. Who's going to play on him? Is it someone like a Blake Hardwick?
Probably. You'd think so, but probably him. I think so. But I think they definitely need Hogan. They need Hogan fit and firing to really do some damage. Stringer, they need him up forward. But yeah, it's just going to be a solid. There's great players throughout the field for both clubs, so it's going to be awesome to watch.
Yeah, they need their smalls, Hawthorn. If Hawthorn are to win, you need Watson, Ginnivan, Moore, McDonald. You need them not dominating. You just need a super consistent performance throughout. This for me is fascinating because the Giants do have that hurt, and I think that's going to take them a long way. But then Hawthorn, I feel, are well-structured and a very good team. So this for me is a real flip of the coin, and this is a scary match. I don't really want to watch this match.
Yeah, but I think, like you said, I think GWS, with what's happened the last few years, like they'll want to win this game. Obviously, Hawthorn will too. They both want to go out there and win. But I think there's a lot riding on this for GWS. They've obviously disappointed. They should have really went to a grand final last year if they were a lot smarter in certain situations. And when they got 5 or 6 goals up, they could have just been a lot smarter and they would have been playing in a grand final last year. But yeah, as I said, it's going to be a huge game. I'm looking forward to it.
I think Bedford will go to Newcombe and just try and stop his influence. And then it's the halfbacks of the Giants, the tsunami that comes through. But one way to stop that is just keep the ball off them, make sure they don't have it. So this is a fascinating watch. Are you going to pick a team? Or are we going to sit on the fence and say it's going to be a great game, maybe a draw?
I think it's 50-50 for me on whoever wins this game. I think it could go either way. GWS at their best should win it. You'd think when they're at their best, they should win this. But Hawthorn, with the way they play, take the game on. The way they played against Brisbane, especially in that first 3 quarters. If they can take it through the corridor, take the ball off the line, really make GWS defend, then they'll really trouble GWS because you can open GWS up defensively sometimes because they can get a little bit lazy at times. But if Hawthorn can move that ball through the corridor, link up through handballs and start hitting up Gunston, I think they're a chance too. And I think the role that Gunston has played on Taylor in the past is going to be another important aspect of the game. I think when you play on Taylor, do play him back shoulder, sort of make him look for you. I think that plays a big factor in the game. And then when you get the opportunity to lead up on Taylor, you do it and you kick the goals, really put pressure on him. And, I think Taylor will respect Gunston enough to stay on him too. he plays on him, but I think he respects Gunston where you'll have to go with him the whole way. Not
Josh Weddle, Josh Weddle will probably come back in. He played half a game in the Box Hill side on the weekend. He moved quite well. You could see that he was obviously just trying to get through. I have been in that situation before leading into 208. We played Fremantle and the coach, Clarko, said, can you just get through the whole match and show me that you can get through the whole match with a knee injury? And then I reckon in the first 5 minutes I rolled my ankle and I was off trying to make sure that I could get back out there. But anyway, I was able to get through. But he virtually said, don't go too hard, so pace yourself. And if there's moments where you got to go and really go for it, just hold back, just get yourself through and get a bit of confidence. And I reckon that message would have went to Weddle from Sam Mitchell as just go and have a run around, have a bit of a blowout, see if you can touch the ball a few times. I saw a few intercept marks and so forth, but he will definitely come into the side. It'll be interesting to see how they use him.
And they need him. He's X factor. He takes the game on, really sets them up. But I think it's just great for football. You want to see the best players in finals. So to see him out there will be exciting. There's no doubt about that.
Reid, your young man, Reid, who will win the Rising Star. I think you're 100% right. I was against you for a long, long time, but he's just so classy. I feel like he's a secret weapon for the finals, not just leaving him in the forward line, but getting him up around the stoppage. I had a look back at some of his work in the under-18s because I wanted to know if he can float through the middle for longer periods. And he averaged like 28 touches in the under-18 league, and he did float through the middle. He's got amazing awareness, great evasive skills. I think you can sneak him up into the midfield at times and he can become a real weapon even in his first year. So, the scene set, King, will he take on Pearce? There's a couple of really key matchups. And the thing about finals footy, you have the very best on the very best and there's nowhere to hide. So I'm looking forward to that.
I think that matchup.
We're thinking Fremantle will win?
I think so. I think it's, for me, the X factor is Bolton for Freo. This is why they got him to the club in big moments like this. He's obviously won the premierships at Richmond, gone over to Perth on big money, and this is going to be a game he steps up and makes his mark. I think the Alex Pearce Ben King matchup is a good one. I think he's a perfect matchup for King. Obviously, Pearce is a pretty good defender, plays you very tight, stops you running and jumping, and I think that's the key to beating King is if you can stop him jumping at the ball, does he have enough capacity to get back onto the ball as quick as the others? That's yet to be seen. So I think that's a great matchup there. This is going to be a fascinating contest too. That midfield, like you said, Brayshaw, Sarong versus Young and Anderson is going to be very interesting.
And making a case for Gold Coast, I've been with the Gold Coast all year, but Fremantle haven't been super convincing. They've had to really knuckle down in last quarters. They've been behind in a lot of last quarters. So Gold Coast are going to be in this match at some stage, but can they take their opportunities or will we see the very best? Was Fremantle at their very best last week against the Bulldogs when no one really gave them a chance? Was that their grand final or do they still have a few more gears or a few more layers? It's fascinating stuff. And to be honest, those sides out of the top 8, I still think a lot of them can possibly make a grand final and even win it. So we're set for an amazing final series. It's going to be awesome, and it all starts Thursday night, Collingwood, Adelaide, which is just going to be sit back and take it all on. Bring it on. Hey, it's now time for
Buddy's Young Star of the Week for the Kia Tasman. Here now.
Kaku.
There was only one game on the weekend,
Kaku?
and that was Gold Coast and Bombers.
Yes. Yes. Who have we got? Who have we put down? Kaku from Essendon.
Yes. Good.
Pretty good pick, isn't he? He's obviously their first round pick 13 last year. He's done pretty well this year, Crawford. I thought on the weekend he was awesome again. It's not an easy role being a small forward, especially at a team that's really been struggling to have their best players on the field. So, he played a pretty good game, had 17 touches, 4 tackles, and kicked 1 goal against the Suns on the weekend. They got absolutely smashed. But I thought, he's had a pretty good year this year for his first-year player. So there's no doubt he'll be better for it next year. And hopefully kick a few more goals next year when he gets a better team around him.
That's right. He was picked 13 in national draft. He's played every game. He's been a real shining light for the Bombers this year. He had 17 touches, which is not a bad effort. Kicked 15 goals. I reckon what Essendon need to do with him and some of their forward line, I reckon they need to employ Luke Bruce at the end of the year.
Well, handing people jobs now, are you, Kroll?
No, seriously, because I think, Kako, having someone like a Luke Bruce, or even a lot of the small forwards with Essendon, someone like him to come in and he'd help the whole forward line, but I think he'd be amazing at really helping someone like a Kako get front and square to caddy when he's back into the side. I think he'd add so much. So, I don't normally offer people up for jobs. I'm sure Hawthorn probably want to hold on to him, but if I was Essendon, I'd be going and knocking on Luke Bruce's door and saying, hey, do you want to come down and help our forward line really function? Because he's been super important into the Hawthorn forward line. Buddy's Young Star of the Week, thanks to the Kia Tasman, the most Australian Kia ever developed. It's built tough, it's tested hard, and it's ready for anything, whether you're hauling, towing, or taking the road less travelled. The Tasman is made for the job. The Kia Tasman, it's here now. We mentioned Tex Walker. Congratulations, well done. Anything else in the mad, crazy world of the AFL football that we want to mention?
I think that mention for Tex is important, Croft. He's been like sensational career. 300 games, 600? He's going to kick nearly 700. Maybe goes on next year. It would be great to see. But I think just as a key forward, what he's been able to do, obviously kicks left and right foot, kicks it from 60 metres, real selfless player throughout his career, always willing to handball the ball off or kick to his other teammates. And I think that's a really good trait to have as a big key forward. I think we saw that with Tom Hawkins years ago. He was the exact same sort of player, happy to dish off and not make it about him, which is really important. But sensational career, 17 years, so go well, Tex.
I only played with you for 4 years and I can never remember you handballing one to me.
As I got a little bit older, I thought I'd start dishing them off, mate. So,
yeah, but never one to me. Now, what I was going to say, I don't know, who cares? Your moral. Okay, which is your absolute moral for the week? Which team do you think is definitely going to win their match on the weekend and progress into the final series?
I don't know.
You got to have one. You got to throw it out there. Mine is the Brisbane Lions. I've got nothing but respect for Geelong, but I think the Brisbane Lions, I think they're unbelievable when they're on. They're so clean and classy. So the Brisbane Lions are for me the one that I'd be.
I'm going to go against
putting
you.
it all.
I'm going to go Geelong.
What?
I'm going against you.
So one of us is going to be right.
I'm going to go Geelong. They're my moral. And last time I did this, if Lions supporters are listening, they won against Fremantle, so it can happen. So Geelong, just at the MCG.
Okay, there you go. Well, one of us is going to be right. So that means the Buddy and Show, Shane, is right again. You've been listening to the Buddy and Shane Show for AIA Australia, a life, health and wellbeing insurer with a commitment to helping Australians lead a healthier, longer, better lives. Good on you, Bud. Have a lovely day on the Gold Coast.
You too, Shane.
Enjoy the finals.
Will do, mate. Will do.
Don't be too enthusiastic.
Will do, Shane.
Nice moustache. I like the moustache.
Like I was expecting you to see tonight at basketball to watch Charlie play and can't come.
You've scared me off because you take it too serious. Hey, this moustache, I'm enjoying it.
The slug
reminds
is
me of
looking all right, isn't it?
David Boone, Alan Border back in the cricket days.
Absolutely. Let's do it. You should grow one.
I'm going to grow one, yep.
See you, mate.